Hey guys, this is Lachette, and I'm back with my February bullet journal review video. It's late, I know, I apologize. I was going to combine this with March, but it got kind of long, and I decided just do them separately. So let's jump right in. So the collections insert. I don't know how much I have changed in here. I think not much, which is fine. This is the insert for like long-term, mostly yearly stuff. Since we have now finished the first quarter of the year, I will have new spreads to show you in the April review, which will come in the beginning of May or so. This insert, I'm actually finished with using this insert. I always forget what to call it, but it is my content insert. So I have my content calendars in here. This is the Aquarius content calendar. I decided this year, in case you didn't see my January review, that I will be calling or titling each content calendar by the sign that the sun and new dark moon are in when I start. And this one, I was based basically on this kind of pattern from a Art Deco thing that I had seen. So when I set up my 2020 spreads, I used various different Art Deco things. And why can't I remember? Oh yeah, so it's from this page, and that's what I've been doing every month, and just going with the color scheme. I couldn't figure out what to do. This was really complicated to draw out if you saw my February setup video, but surprisingly it worked out okay, and I really like the font that I used. Here's weekly spreads. I'm not doing good with using the habit trackers, but we'll see in the next quarter. So weekly spreads are from mostly for me to work out like what content I'm going to post on social media to promote my business and myself every day. So that's the social media side, and the events are when I have events. Sometimes I have a lot in a week, and so yeah. And then I have these smaller spaces just for like projects, YouTube, and other upcoming things. And yeah. So what happened is I did not really do much bullet journaling during February. I will come back to this. So let me put a pen in here. I think it's better to show you guys each month all together, so things are not too crazy. Now onto my monthly logs and daily spreads. So this is the cover, same glyph image, my monthly log with all of the events I plan to attend or watch. To an extent, I started following Ryder Carroll, the creator of the bullet journal method, how he does the monthly log to an extent. So I think originally it was, this is what you plan, or these are the events coming up in the month. How he does it, or how he evolved to doing it, is he puts in when he actually did a major event or something that happened. So I've slowly been taking that in because this wasn't this full when I did the setup. My projects for the month here. And I was kind of, I guess, lazy in crossing out what got done. And Let me use a different thing here. So I did some of that. This is deferred. I did that. I decided not to do that. Did the Tome Topple Blackathon. Did not do that. The 40 messages on dating sites. I started. Did I? I don't remember if I started it here or next time. Next. Yeah, did not do that. I think I did not. Definitely did not do Bujo Daily, and I did Contemporary-a-thon. It was just a busy time. So, yeah. Here's my Field and Sky Notes page. So, the red is the astrological, major astrological events that happened during this time period. And then the light green is what I noticed happening around me in nature for the most part. It's been unseasonably warm early, so we had like many 60-degree days in February. And then it got freezing cold in the last week, but not during this monthly period. Red berries on various trees, lots of cloudy and rainy days. It felt like April in February to me. So, yeah. My release and manifest page, I didn't wind up doing something for the full moon, which is the release. Manifest, I decided to manifest stability for during the new moon at the end of this monthly period. So that was for the next one. I'm really happy with how these spreads turned out. These are new spreads for the year. I tried to combine books and music last month in my January review. You saw how that worked out, and my reading has been great. These are all the books I read during this time period and the readathons I participated in. I like this spread. It's very helpful to me when I'm doing my recent reads, where I wrap up the videos that I read during a certain time period. It's, getting the highlights, what I read, whether or not it's part of a series, how many stars I gave it, where I got it from, what type of book it was, what the intended audience was, who the author is, and what readathon or read along I used it for, if anything. So this information is here. I don't need to remember it. I can just read it off the page and not worry about having my tablet or a laptop or anything in front of me, because I don't have the space and not always the appropriate enough technology. I don't want to get into too much detail, but yeah, so this turned out pretty good. I'm just like doodling some form of the cover in these squares, which is nice. Another small way to be artistic and get that feeling going. My music page, this one turned out really good. I didn't keep track of like my sources too much, but for the most part it was Spotify and YouTube. Audify is just, I guess, where that's the app I use on my phone, Audify. Didn't keep track of hours listened. But yeah, so I split this up into two different playlists that I made as far as what I listened to the most this month. And it was K-pop. And then like old faves that it's kind of like I was in the mood for. With in this particular case, it's kind of seasonal for Here Comes the Sun. I listened to that for Oi Milk, which is a Wiccan holiday that comes up in February. I wanted to write down the playlist that I was listening to the most this month. These are Spotify playlists, but I didn't pay enough attention. By the time I was filling this in, I was like, I don't remember. And yeah, but it worked out great. Um, Most of this I'm gonna keep to the next uh monthly thread. My memories for the month, um, excuse that noise there, but not a lot happened, like events and major things. Um, Outside of me, not a lot of active things, I guess. But these are memories I wanted to remember. So Connect BTS, the Clearing in Brooklyn Bridge Park by Anthony. I forget his name. Gordney. It's part of the whole art event that they had before their album came out. I went out to see it. I went out twice. And just being in the park was great, but that was like the impetus to go, and I'm glad I did. One day it was raining, and I didn't go all the way out and didn't stay very long. The other day it was really nice, though I got cold, and I got to see Brooklyn Bridge Park for the first time in a while, in several years, and it's changed, even without the Connect BTS clearing thing. The three readathons I participated in: Blackathon, Contemporarython, Tome Topple. Then BTS's Map of the Soul 7 album came out. Oil Milk, and which is the Weekend Holiday, and then dress by getting the dress for the wedding that was coming up. Craziness. So I didn't really do much as far as the review, which is what was holding me up here. But these are my numbers and followers and stuff on various social media, and so those are the monthly pages. Yes, technically this is a monthly page as well. I don't know what's happening outside. If you can hear that, I heartily apologize, but someone with a really loud engine, because no windows open, is going up and down the street apparently. I was applying for jobs, and maybe I should put that on my memories. Some of these I are after this monthly spread, but it doesn't matter because what matters is that I created the spread. I applied in particular to the public library and the parks and recreation, and this is just me keeping track of what positions I applied for, where, and when, and how much, and stuff like that. So I'll keep using this and more. Here, I did fill this in. It's related to the jobs applications. It's my references. I did fill it in, but then I realized I needed more space and to do it a little differently, so I had whited everything out, and then I was like, you know what? I will put that information back after I do the review because no one needs to see that. But all the people I asked to be references said yes, and I'm very happy about that. They are gung ho, I'm gung ho, we're gung ho, and so all is well. Now onto my dailies, of which there are a few. I have this really quick thing, books to try on audio. There's a couple of really thick tomes. A tome is 500 pages or more. Fantasy books that I want to read that may be a struggle to get through, or for whatever reasons, the writing style, from what I've heard. And others are just like, the audiobooks are really good. So I started making a list and then didn't finish. But I've already read one of them. The other I'll get to eventually. It's not a priority. I just wanted to make that list. My oil milk ritual happened. I'm still doing some journaling, short, light journaling there. Thoughts on exercises. This is a big deal for me. So before bullet journaling, I've always like had a notebook and made notes. And my notes are all over the place. They're kind of, that's how I would do things. And that's how when I was starting my Etsy shop, how things would come up. I would just like come up with an idea of a type of product I wanted to make, and then just leave it there to try to figure out how, like, I would just write words, things that I associated with such and such, and blah blah blah. I'm trying to find a page, an old page in an old notebook here, where you could see something like that. But it's helpful. It's like stream of conscience. I don't need things to be perfectly perfect in every way. I just need the information on the page because I'm trying to just pick. What I'm trying to do here is decide what ingredients and why for my new job bath that will be out soon. I don't think this notebook is old enough because I can't find anything that's not deciding pricing, which is slightly more put together than this. So, but yeah, it's all right. No big deal. So, that's what this is. It says new job. I did it in pencil because I wasn't sure if I would erase things or not. That's fine. It sticks out anyway. I've come back and crossed certain things out and highlighted certain ingredients that I really think should go. And I've decided. So eventually this will turn into like a recipe page with a proper ingredients list, and everything will be easily read for the future. But this is the brainstorming page, which I'm happy to have again, to just let it out on the page, and it doesn't have to be in a certain space because I don't know what's gonna take up how much space. And here are my dailies, some more exercising notes. This month I was doing a restock or preparing for a restock, so restocking my supplies and ingredients so I can make stuff and then restock my Etsy shop. Thoughts about, I had an eye doctor appointment, new herbs I'd like to try, more dailies, my spread set up for contemporary thon, the prompts, and then the books I wanted to read, and I did okay. I hit all of the prompts except for 2 backlist book and dark hard hitting contemporary. I just didn't get to finish them. Well, I DNF'd one and didn't get to finish the other, so it is what it is. Another daily. Okay, another daily. My Tome Topple spread, it was kind of like a bingo board, so I read a tome, but I didn't get bingo. And then my Blackathon spread, that readathon, the challenges, and I didn't finish, but it's okay. Alright, so now that we've done the bullet journal, let's go over my divination spreads. So, if you remember, I showed this page in my setup for the year, my year ahead spread. I have the 2 cards I pulled for each month. Black Moon Oracle for As Above, Lion Strider Tarot for So Below. These are all the cards for each month. I also did the 12 Omen days with a friend who runs this, and I decided to use charms. And those are the charms. Because this is my first time using charms for divination, I also did some stictomancy or bibliomancy, and this is just pulling words for clarification, and I had some flora for healing during these times. So let's look at my February cards. I did not bring the cards with me. That's fine. I showed them in my February plan with me, so you can go and see that. Link in the description below. So my Lion Strider card was the Two of Cups. I wasn't sure exactly how I was going to do this still, so I have before the book and after the book, just like reading the book that comes with the tarot deck. And balance is what I said, the focus of the card. Cups, water, emotions, balancing emotions, relationships, trust, bonding. And there is some of that with me and my mother, but also during this month, felt like it was trusting myself, my intuition, and knowing my worth and putting myself out there. The as above card from Black Moon Astrology was Mars Force. Again, before the book and after the book. Mars is a force to be reckoned with, pushing through, getting started, pursuing passions, and that I think showed up with like the 3 readathons I participated in. I'm passionate about reading and the readathons, and then doing all of the YouTube videos also about music and putting that focus there. My job, looking for a job. That was kind of the relationship with myself, but also reconnecting with other people for to be references. Wasn't totally disconnected from them, but it was important. And then knowing my worth so I can apply for those jobs. Here, this is like the outside forces outside of my control, or how I'm feeling emotionally, and these, I guess, the energies I'm feeling from the universe in a way. So, like, I believe in myself. I was passionate. I went with, what I liked. I applied for jobs at the Parks Department and the public library, and even for positions I wasn't always sure I would get. I applied for them because I was interested, I was passionate about them, and I knew that I could do them, even if maybe I don't always have the qualifications, all of the qualifications. And then I drew, like last time, a little thing of my charm. So this is it's a little lavender iridescent bead, and it felt like magical, and like it's multifaceted, so many doorways opened, many possibilities, a little futuristic even. So new thoughts, considerations, believing, intuition, new opportunities, that kind of thing. And so that is all. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the March review video. Bye.